Uldaman and I did a plus 22. This is the route that we're doing for a fortified week, and this is also enraging. Basically, you don't have to play the packs specifically like this or the pulls specifically like this, but this is more or less how we played them. At the end. And let's go over to the video. Actually got no clue what the fuck the Leapers does. I think they jump on people and that's about it. The Basilisks do two things. They bite the tank, they chop us, and they also put a shield on themselves, which deals auto nature damage back to the attacker on attacks. Both things hurt a lot, like a lot. The Berserkers enrage people. The Geomancers do bolts on tank, and they also do chain lightning. Berserker also slams the tank. No, on an AoE around itself. You get stunned if you stand in it, and they also apply a disease to the tank, which slows. These Basilisks is probably the most deadly thing specifically for a tank. I usually say my Stoneform for this. If you do not have Stoneform as a Prot warrior, I would recommend to just skip them. And you can just kite too. Really watch out for them. They do really hurt. You can stun to delay the cast and perhaps to prevent from stacking up the bleeds further, but in general you won't be able to stun the cast and skip it. Still gonna recast. We are going these midgets first. I died due to bleeds. These bosses do a series of things. Balog does a frontal cleave, Olaf does a shield on someone, it hurts quite a bit, and he also does a defensive, like a shield wall for everyone, kick that. And Eric the Swift jumps away and throws daggers at people. And for a few seconds they jump into the longboat and cannoning the entire place. They die at around 10%. When they die, they will hop into their boat and start shooting shit. Enough with that boss. Pretty easy. And we know all of these mobs already. I pulled these packs together, but it's a pretty scary pull. Watch out for the bleeds and watch out for the casts, because there's a lot going on here. You don't worry too much about other people on these mobs, you just worry about yourself. So next pack, caster and two berserkers, so same thing. They apply diseases and they have slam on the ground. Not a big deal. This is the second boss. This boss can be nice lusting, but it should be fine. It's a fortified week. He summons ads a few times between each totem, like twice between each totem, I think. And two casters, two melee guys. These do hurt if they are not kicked. The Quaking Totem does a constant AoE pulse, and when you kill it, it stuns anything in its AoE circle, so try to stack up ads here as well. The boss casts a lust. If you are fast enough to kill the totem, you can prevent the lust cast. He also does a storm slam or whatever it's called on himself, dealing a massive amounts of damage, and also stuns you, I'm pretty sure. It hits you. That's this boss. Just keep on focusing the totem. Totem fucking slaps. And you can spell effect both casts. It can be nice spell effecting the chain lightning, but usually things will get kicked. We skip. Go past. We pull these are not too big of a deal. They are walking pretty slow. You can outrange the bite bleed here. The AoE cleaves, frontal cleaves are not a big deal. These bites do hurt once they are applied to you, but just kite them. We're going to rush the boss and then clear the pack after that. The bloodlust back up. But as you can see, I am trying to constantly outrange. I should Stoneform now. I did. It's lucky that I held that Stoneform because I got another bleed same second as I used it. They are also vulnerable to stuns, meaning that stuns are, I think, twice as long on them. So definitely try to stun them. But as you can see, you can rather easily outrange that bite and they will just recast it. This boss is doing a random cast on people, like constantly throwing like boulders or some shit. He spawns resonating orbs on people which drop it off at a place which will stun the boss if you walk through it, but the boss is also having a buff on himself at times. In each time that you stun him, you want to stun him before he goes 100 rage, because at 100 rage he starts casting Titanic Empowerment, which is every 30 seconds ish. Want to stun him for that, but as you can see, the boss has a debuff here, not a buff here, which prevents the next stun effect, so you can remove that buff by using Stormbolt, Shockwave, any kind of stuns. If you stun him afterwards, you will stun the boss though, and every time he gets stunned, I think he gets a 5 or 10% damage buff, which is not a positive thing because he does start slapping. No fun at all. Well, basically that, rinse and repeat. Be careful to not get knocked back from the thunder crushing stomp into these stun orbs, because if you do walk through them, you get stunned as well. So we went back, and these earthen weavers, are new. They throw stones at you, you can reflect them. They also do a channel, which hurts a lot. So do stop that. Hail of Stone, I'm pretty sure you can spell block it if needed. But in general, not too hard mobs. Go next. Going pretty big here, just be careful to face away the frontals from people. The Earthen Custodians do the frontals, the Weavers do the same things. Next pull is with Wardens. They do Curse of Stone and a Earth Shield on themselves. I'm not sure what that Curse of Stone actually does. What is Engine Studies? Okay. That's wrong. Place the water on the target absorbing 16k. Okay, that's just a shield. By 1%? That's probably not true. Probably gets stunned. Turned into stone. It's not decursed or something, I don't know. Waiting for the Varlocks. This is a nasty pull. Let's have Thief guys and Hailstone guys. And then the Runic Protector. The Runic Protector does what? Difficult terrain. No, fuck that. He does cast is called Earthquake. It's a pulsing AoE to the entire group. Then after that he does Fissuring Slam. Fissuring Slam leaves a unstable ground beneath you, which deals a lot of damage. As soon as he finishes his cast, you want to pre-move. These spiders and bats or whatever, the bats do a screech. AoE screech probably silences as well. Just stun them, kick them. The spiders probably apply poisons when they jump on people, but rather easy room to just clear in one pull. They apply poison to tank. This boss is a bit naughty. I thank him here at a bit of on the side to be able to see the puddles a bit more. You can spell effect that. What is the spell called? Embers, unstable embers. And spell effect it does a decent amount of damage. Dodge the balls, mitigate the frontal. Use, for example, shield wall on one and spell block on another. And then he should face. Not keep your shout as a panic button. Around this phase, your room gets divided in two and kill the ads. Doesn't seem to be a tight timer on this, or any timer whatsoever, just a bit of a healing check. Just keep on moving around, don't get hit by the beams, they hurt, and kill the ads. And just repeat. Spell effect. And watch out for that nasty combo. If you do not have a spell effect, it's gonna hurt. So next pack, ideally we would skip this, but I think I or someone else accidentally run through it. I think someone else pulled them. Fine, we're going to Mind Suit later on instead, but ideally we would skip these. You can LOS the Thunderous Slap. Pulling that in, but it's hard to get it in. However, I'm tanking it at the door so they can rather easily LOS the clap. Same thing here. Watch out, do not cleave a group. Go for the earthquakes. Next pull we can go pretty big. It's got a big guy, an earthen guardian, I think is his name. I'm not precisely sure what the shield does. Earthen guardian, blessing of turn, increases damage done, inflicts overarch slam, so you do not want to tank it whilst it's bolstered. Emanates a blessing of terror on the caster. So just kite them out of that. You do not want to stand in that, at least yourself. Just go, go, go. Once he does it, I move out. And we take these two as well. Focus the guardian, cleave the others down. Right, if you have to. Pretty easy pull. These two play them in the hallway, so people can LOS rather easily. Same thing here. Play in hallway so they can LOS. We know what these mobs do, but we are mind shooting them. We wasted a shroud here. I said mind shoot, don't shroud, but he shrouded. The infinite time reverse applies a debuff to yourself, which can be dispelled with MD, for example, and reduces your haste. I think does some damage too, probably. Yeah, reduces haste by 2% per stack and inflicts some arcane damage. It does hurt. The way we're doing this is by skipping. We would otherwise skip with Shroud, but since he wasted Shroud, we are having the healer run through, and let's skip because we do not want to play 2 time reavers together, and we do not want to play this one for separately. It's taking a lot of time. The last boss, we are pulling back, starting at the wall here, and they're not playing it very great. Ideally, we would want to start in the left back corner. And be careful to not move ahead because it places... I think it places puddles where you haven't moved. The amount of times he died in this key. He does a frontal, which hurts. It's some kind of magic damage. You can spell block it, you can shield wall it, you can do shit with it. Rewind time flow means you run on these puddles, you get a lot of haste and you soak them up. I'm sorry about the lag. No, it is horrible. He also makes rocks fall down. I do not know why the warlock is standing there. It is dumb as fuck. I'm gonna be honest. Want to overlap these puddles as much as possible, and then soak at the end. So like finish soaking them so they don't keep on growing. Now we rewind again. I'm not sure if you actually have to soak them, but I think it helps. Running keys time. I think I'm heading off. Nice. Happy to help. Ring buffet knocks everyone back. Be a bit careful to not get knocked into too much poo-poo. You can see since we started at the middle and people stood stupidly, we've got half of the room used, but it's fine. Fortified. It's fine. Do not face that breath towards anyone else either. Thanks for watching.